We're live from the India Podcast Center. Welcome to the podcast, guys. My name's Angel, and I got you guys a special surprise.
My name is Taliban Jr., and I wanted to say, for all you Ninja watchers listening to this podcast, watching this podcast right now, if you guys don't subscribe or like this video, I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to suplex your mama. I'm going to suplex you. I'm going to defeat you for the World Heavyweight Championship, and I'm going to beat you up. So you better subscribe to this channel right now. Do it. Do it now before I suplex you and win. Become AAA World Champion.
Well, that was the greatest intro I've ever seen. You deserve the World Championship right now. AEW signed this man's right now. Signed this man's. Bro, that was crazy. So anyway, thank you guys for watching and joining us on another day. Today's Sunday, time of this recording. We're kind of doing some research to like some of the topics we're going to talk about today. Definitely get into European soccer. For some reason, this podcast is turning into a soccer podcast.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But it's interesting because there's nothing else to talk about. The NFL season starting soon. That's dope. Major League Baseball, there's some dope like movie crossover thing. We'll talk about the movies as well. And then we were, like I said, we're doing some research before the podcast. And we found out the Taliban, you know, like I was watching some videos earlier and I was showing Brian like the Taliban has taken over Afghanistan.
I just want to say, who was that guy?
Who?
The guy with the mask. Like, he just came into the room, like, I don't know where.
Oh, and you seen those crackheads that hang out outside the building?
Yeah.
The motherfucker came up through the roof, bro.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah.
Turn off your phone, bro. Your phone. You're always getting called during the podcast, man.
I know, man. It's bad.
Do not disturb. Just put it there. Yeah, bro. So the Taliban are back, and
After what, like 20 years?
so the U.S. was in there for 20 years, wasted trillions and trillions of dollars,
Taxpayer money.
That could have been used to help out the infrastructure here in the United States, to help out mental health climate change. You know, all these things that really concern a lot of people.
Space research.
Just anything. 20 years, they pull all the troops out, and then literally, like within 20 days, the Taliban just took over the entire country. I don't know a lot of details, just what we saw earlier on the news, but it's like the president kind of surrendered because he didn't want there to be a lot of blood in the streets, which I kind of get it, but also that's kind of a car. Like, this dude fled the country. Now there's people stuck in the embassy. Like, people overran the airport because people needed visas. People want to get out.
He saved himself, but he didn't save his country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are comparing it to how the Vietnam War, when the U.S. left and just the communist Vietnamese just took over the country. And it feels like it is this right now. Now, just President Biden, as of this recording, hasn't said anything. I think it's just as fucked up it is. I feel like the U.S. shouldn't be involved. I feel like we tried 20 years, whatever they did. I don't justify anything. The U.S. went for oil and all that bullshit, but it's like the U.S. can't be over there solving all these problems when we have so many problems.
We have our own problems. It's like,
big time.
You know, if you can't help yourself, how are you going to help others? I mean, George Washington, founding father, he never wanted, like, it was written, the founding fathers of America, they never anticipated to, you know, for us to be involved with foreign policy and interact with other countries. They envisioned us just being focused on our stuff, which I think, given this current time, I think we need to focus on, like, how are we going to help the people of Afghanistan when we're like, when we printed large amounts of money and we owe like all this, you know, this debt and stuff like that.
It's more debt and necessarily getting into it. But again, also at the same time, war is very profitable, and the U.S. just loves to spend money on war. Like, there's literally, I watched the video on YouTube that we don't even know how many bases we have all over the world. The U.S. has a base all over the world since World War II. They just became just a global dominance. I read a book, 2015. I don't remember the year, but it was the next 100 years. It was kind of like a prediction of the next 100 years based on historical data. Like, it's hard to predict 100 years in the future. Like, people from the 1900s, the future of the 2000s, like, there's no way they predicted.
They predicted like there was gonna be all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
like
so you can't predict, but you could definitely see the trends in a geopolitical way. So
yeah,
in this book, like the premise was the U.S. was going to be the focus of the next 100 years because they pretty much control the world. And one of the reasons why the U.S. is so powerful, the military is so powerful, they have so many bases, is because the U.S. has protected itself for the last 70 years and nobody could invade the United States. For example, it's almost impossible to invade the United States with planes because you could get shut down.
Yeah.
The easiest way to transport troops for time and efficiency is through the ocean. So large like carriers and stuff.
Yeah.
But the U.S. is surrounded by allies all over the oceans, and they have the largest navy. So and no ship in the ocean moves without the approval of the United States.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like.
Well, the United States, they have their own ports too, so like they're really good with the naval system and the trade routes as well. Like, yeah,
that's how they control trade routes. They control with all these military bases all over Asia and Europe and the Pacific and all this. Like they have pretty much all their enemies on site.
Yeah,
and over here on the homeland, we're surrounded by allies. So Canada to the north, Mexico to the south, ocean on both sides, which you have the biggest navy. Yeah. And you have bases pointing like guns at every freaking
like communist. even during like the Cuban Missile Crisis, like when John F. Kennedy had like bases like obviously around Cuba and then, like around Russia too. Like they had
those are I don't know if the same ones are there today, but it's a similar thing. So
I would think so, probably like the same ones from back then and like what Cuban.
That's why the people don't know like. They literally don't know how many bases we have. And
bro, we had a military base here, like in like where CV used to be a military base.
Really?
Like, yeah, like 100 years. Well, yeah. The story is like it used to be a World War I military base.
Yeah.
There used like when I went to school, there was the talk about like that's why they have tunnels underground. So the school, what they did is like they filled them up with like sand and stuff like that, so people wouldn't go in the back. Wouldn't go in, but yeah, it used to be a military base around World War I. I mean, a lot of kids try to go to the tunnels, but the school made it like if you went to the tunnels or something like that, you would lose your graduation or you would like not graduate.
That's crazy. I didn't know they had tunnels.
So they really didn't want us to explore down there, but there's like hatches and there is history, like, yeah, just that whole area of the school was just used to be a military base. And I was actually watching a video about the Salton Sea, and they would actually like have that as a testing ground for like during World War II for aircrafts and stuff like that. So they would drop bombs in the sea.
Oh, really?
So there's like stories and stuff like that. And I think there's one of the reasons why like people are going into the Salton Sea is because there's a lot of fragments, like metal fragments, lead fragments, like planes in there, and they're trying to like scalp those metals and stuff like that to use that for batteries, maybe.
Oh, you mentioned there was like a project to create lithium batteries out of the Salton Sea. Yeah, you talked about that in a couple podcasts ago.
Yeah, like
so that's what it is because of the remnants.
Something like that too, but there's also stories that like soldiers have died, like when they were like test flying, like they might have crashed and
a bunch of
there's probably like some remains there, but usually I guess people can correct me if I'm wrong, but whenever like a soldier dies, they're supposed to be registered, or like the family of that soldier,
they get notified,
and I guess there's some speculation that the people that are like that died, it could be either because they just crashed or their plane went, something happened to the plane and they just ended up drowned in the sea or whatever. They never got notified. And so that looks bad on the military, because if they pick up those dead remains, it's like, who is this guy? Oh, he was a soldier, but he's, not notified.
Joe something. But it's already been so long. I feel like that it's already deteriorated though, because I remember, I think the Titanic, like last year, was the last remains kind of dissolved or some shit like that. So especially underwater, things don't last, like metals. I think the only thing that lasts is like large stone or rocks. So human bodies, 100 years later, there's no way there's...
I mean, it's going to be like skeletons.
I feel like not even skeletons. I don't know. Especially with all the salt that's in the Salton Sea, and you have all those like minerals coming from the all the golf courses, all the pesticides, because all the runoff from the valley goes into the Salton Sea. So,
I could show you the video, dude. But like, they sent like cameras or like down there.
So there's planes and shit.
Yeah, like
that's crazy
underneath the sea. So, I mean, if that thing dries up, or if people just spend more money and like actually like find like stuff underneath the sea, I mean, you could find anything. It's gonna be like finding treasure. Like you never know what you're gonna find.
That's cool. I did not know about the Salton Sea. We gotta do some research, bro. I just took a class on the Salton Sea, but I don't think they ever mentioned anything about the military. It was just how it was made and all the runoff, and then like how it's a bird sanctuary. So a lot of the birds that come traveling from Canada because of the cold weather, they migrate and they stop at the Salton Sea. So there's like a big community of bird watchers. Yeah. Like, first of all, who the fuck goes bird watching? That's the first problem.
I mean, people are just into watching birds, I guess, or taking pictures, photographers, maybe just a scrapbook. I don't know.
Bird watching is coming this fall season. We should go. We got the big lens now. We could go. You're going to see us fucking taking pictures of the birds.
Some rare bird. The rare robin.
The red one.
The red robin. Yum.
There's books at the Barnes and Noble, brother, where they have like local birds and shit.
Yeah.
You can actually see, and then the features. So if you're in the wild, you would know what it is. Yeah. If you go out there taking pictures.
Like here in the valley, right?
At the Barnes and Nobles, they have like a local section with like, I feel like we should pick some up, but they have like history of Indio, Palm Springs, like little pamphlets mostly for probably people visiting.
Yeah.
But then I feel like we don't even know the history behind what the fuck we're standing on, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, we were next to the old Indio, like, hotel that's, like, right here. Like, next to the food park. Like, the pillars are still there. Even just this whole strip has a bunch of history. And, like, we're literally sitting on a lot of history.
This was Pioneer Town, bro. Like, the only stop between Phoenix and LA.
I think that's what's cool about, like, being in the valley is just it's associated with so much history. Like, just as a local, being in Coachella, being in Indio, is like there's so much history. Even Palm Springs as well, like from all the celebrities that have come here. Frank Sinatra lived here,
but we don't talk about it enough. I feel like we need to we need to make those documentaries. Write that shit down.
Bro, we have it written down. What are you talking about?
Yeah, get started on some documentary. Let us know in the comments you guys want to see some documentaries. We definitely want to explore. Right here, they have a museum here in India. Yeah. And I feel like nobody really knows much about it or talks about it. They have one of the first school in the Coachella Valley. I think they still have the original desks and shit. Like, it's pretty cool.
But they like keep it like clean. And
they're not. No one's allowed to like use them. It's just see.
It's just like displayed. Yeah. It's like if you go to Old Town San Diego and you see like the first
the same shit
bank or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's right here, the history museum here.
I think it's just not advertised as much. Like.
Yeah, it's because history is boring. I remember when I was going to school, I wanted to be a history teacher. I've always found history fun. Like, not like. I don't know. There's certain histories that are boring, but I always grew up watching like war films, like those Braveheart and I don't know, The Patriot. I know they're movies, but I don't know. It's something about like swords and all that shit. Just like that's dope. So when we were learning about that stuff, like the Spartans and Greece and the Roman Empire, I've always been fascinated. So I want to be a history teacher, and I took all the history classes in college or whatever. But most people find history boring.
Well, I mean, the point of history is to learn from it. I mean, that's like the key takeaway. I don't know, but I think it's something. I know a lot of people think that history is boring, but I think when you learn about your local history, like
that's exciting.
That's exciting because it resonates with you.
And it's just what the hell was life like 50 years ago, 70 years ago, 100 years ago here, We see the mural that's behind us, and there's like what do you call those, like Native
Americans?
But like I don't know nothing about them. They still have the fish traps over there in La Quinta too. They have like, so the water used to go to the Salton Sea water. Yeah. First it was a lake here. Yeah. Then it dried up, and then the Salton Sea was created by an accident because there was like a dam that broke coming from the Colorado River. But like hundreds of years ago, I think 500 or 600 years ago, not even that long ago, bro. Like 4 or 5 generations ago, the water used to go up to the mountains in La Quinta, like close to like 50, 60 something. So you could see the water level on the mountains. And if you go up to those, there's a hiking trail there. If you go to that mountain, you still see the fish traps. So what they would do is like make a circle with rocks. They would take out one rock and just let the fish come into the like little like corral and shit. Yeah. And they put the rocks back, and then that way the fish is trapped, and they would just like hit them with like swords, spears.
They would just smack them.
So those fish traps are there right now. Like there's a hiking trail that takes you to them.
But it's like dried up. Like the rocks are still there in a circle.
Yeah, so the rocks are there in a circle, and of course it's dried up now because there's no water.
Yeah.
But since it was only 500 years ago, you could see the discoloration from where the sea level was, which is pretty cool. Like it's not that long ago.
Yeah, I've never. Well, I mean, 500 years. That's a long time.
I wasn't around back then. But yeah, it's history is boring. Local history is interesting. I definitely want to do more research on that. But there's just too much distractions now with our phones. We got TikTok and we got social media and like sports, football, media.
That's why we got to be the first ones to do it, man. I mean,
well, the NFL. Then speaking of sports, NFL's back. Preseason, it just began. I didn't really watch any games because I don't like watching preseason. That's just boring.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point.
But the Chargers and the Rams played for the first time with fans in the stadium.
Fans. Dude, that's crazy.
Like, no one... I was trying to get season tickets. I don't know if I still am, bro. Like, I want to, but it's a lot of money. It's a big commitment going every other 2 Sundays, bro. Like, I did it once when they're in San Diego.
Season. So what is it like getting season tickets? Like you only pay for one game or a couple games, or
when you got season tickets. So I used to have season tickets in 2014 in San Diego for the Chargers. Mm-hmm. So that 1 year I had it. So we got 10 games, 10 home games. So it's
like a package.
It's a big package. So it's 8 regular season games and 2 preseason games at home. I don't know what it is now. I haven't looked up the ones at SoFi in LA, but the one in San Diego was 10 games. So the thing is, it's every Chargers home game. So every other week, we had to make a trip to San Diego, bro. And we lived 2.5 hours. So
yeah,
it was hard, bro. Like Sunday morning, go to San Diego,
and then
tailgate.
Back.
So we're tailgating, getting drunk, like getting messed up, watching the game, whatever. It's hot as hell too, because the games were always at 1 p.m. since we're in the Pacific times. The game ends like at 4:35, and then you're all hungover, and then you gotta drive like 3 hours back, and then Monday suck for work. So like. It was a mission every 2 weeks,
It was a
bro.
mission.
If you live in town, that's easy. But for us, it was just like a big thing. So we used to have 3 season tickets, and we kind of split them. So
like within the year, or like
so it was 3 seats.
Oh, okay.
So I had 3 seats, and then it was my sister, my brother, and myself, and we would split them. So some weeks, my brother didn't go, my mom or my dad would go. We brought in different people. Alexandria went with me one game. Because it is hard to go every freaking 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do that for LA, but also didn't want to spend that kind of money. I was like, I don't know.
Is it worth it? Like, is it really worth it?
The entertainment, it is worth it. Because I'm going to go to at least 1 or 2 Charger games this year.
Yeah.
Especially they play a Thursday night, prime time at 5 p.m. and I think Sunday night football or Monday night football.
Yeah, I'd definitely go, but like in a later time, bro. Like for sure not anywhere near like 1 p.m. like you said.
Yeah.
Because honestly, for me, even like when I played football too, I hated playing morning games, dude. I hate it. It's not for me. Like I remember when I would play football, like just going to like Apple Valley, like bro, I didn't like it.
Oh, Apple Valley. The drive to Apple Valley sucks, bro.
Yeah. We
played them my senior year in high school. Just it was raining the whole time. Like it was just one of the worst games. But yeah, I don't know which games I'm gonna go to. One time, the year I got the season tickets for the Chargers, we all got super drunk, bro. The game was at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So it's way different tailgating at 10 a.m. versus tailgating at like 3 or 4 p.m. because then you could actually enjoy beer when it's like hot.
Yeah.
So we were there, bro. We were just playing. And, man, we were getting so drunk. We brought in like beer pong table and like cups and shit.
Oh, so you were playing at the parking lot?
Like, in the parking lot tailgating. And then we parked. We were surrounded by Patriots fans. Oh, the Chargers were playing the Patriots that year. And it was Tom Brady and them. And then, bro, it was like we were surrounded by Patriots fans, and we brought out the beer pong table and everything. We were making carne asada and like all kinds of shit. And then like these guys are like, yeah, let's play. So we were playing against like Patriots fans. Yeah. It was all fun. It was never any like trouble or nothing. Everyone was there just to have fun. So we're playing beer pong, and then because we're like, oh shit, we only got like an hour till the game, we started playing with double the amount of beer.
Just to get rid of it.
So usually you play two beers per team per round. We were playing 4 beers per team per round. So we were just drinking like a shitload of beer because it was hot and it was just it's exciting, you know.
Just to kill the time.
Yeah, Monday Night Football, you know, or Sunday Night Football, I think it was. So we went, and by the time we were in the stadium, we were all super drunk, bro. Like,
bro, how did you
hammered.
make it to the stadium, bro? Like, did you have to be like?
Nah, that wasn't the biggest problem. But inside the stadium, we continued drinking. I remember, bro, like I don't remember half the game. I had to watch the highlights like later on because I couldn't remember half.
You couldn't remember.
And then I fell from my seat, so I had an edge seat.
Shit.
I had an edge seat. And I got up for like, I don't know, like something happened with the game. And then I like lost my footing and I fell. Then the security guard saw me and then she was just staring at me. And I was like, oh, I'm okay. And then I sat down and that girl was just staring at me, bro. Like, I didn't want to get kicked out the game for being too drunk, but I was fucked up. And then my brother was the one that was like the most drunk. He's like, you know what? Like in the 4th quarter or 3rd quarter, he dipped to the car parking lot because he couldn't handle it no more.
Was he like too hot? Like, was he dizzy?
I think he just wanted to rest because he had to drive.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, I'll wait for you guys in the car. And then my sister and me and my sister stayed. Then we went back to the car. We were both fucked up. And then I think my brother was knocked out in the car, like sleeping.
Yeah.
And my sister was the most sober one. So she ended up, we waited and till she got sober. We went to Hotel Circle, which is down the street from the Qualcomm Stadium where the Chargers used to play. And we got a hotel, but then the next morning, my brother lost his cell phone. Like, he didn't know where his phone was. But we tracked it down with the iPhone tracker.
Yeah, with the Find My iPhone.
Find My iPhone. Yeah. And then it was, like, inside a Walmart, bro.
What the heck?
So my brother, he drove and somewhere by Walmart. And then, like, his phone was really broken. I guess he dropped it. I don't know where he dropped it. I don't know where he lost it.
How did he, like, end up going from, like, the football game to a Walmart? Like, did somebody, like, must have gotten it, left it there? Or?
Yeah, so we're not sure where he dropped it, but the next morning we turned it on and it was on. So we were lucky that it was on. And we tracked it down to a local Walmart right there in San Diego. And then it was like an old guy. An old guy had it and he didn't even know how to turn it off. He didn't even know how to answer anything. So my brother walked around Walmart because you know how Track My iPhone doesn't tell you exact location. It just tells you like close by.
Yeah.
So he kept pinging it until he finally heard it, and then it was like some old guy, and then he felt embarrassed, but he's like, no, thanks for finding it, whatever. So he's able to get his phone because like he was getting calls from work and shit because it was a Monday, you know. And and then we had like the worst hangover ever, bro. It was crazy, bro. So that's like Sunday Night Football or like those primetime games. Yeah. So I'm excited for those. Like those are the fun ones.
Those are the fun ones. Damn. I mean, I've always like seen like highlights of fans, like the NFL fan base is just, it's insane. Like seeing like those parking lots, like those grill outs. I used to follow like a football fanatic. I will not disclose the name, but he was like a super fan, and like just the amount of passion like NFL fans just have for the games and like just the amount of fun. I don't know. I guess that's with like any sports fan.
Yeah, there's a lot of different fandoms when it comes to like sports. Yeah, soccer fans are pretty crazy in the world, bro. Like amazing. The soccer fans from Argentina, bro. I love watching those videos. Like, just put like Argentina fans at a stadium, and then you'll get like different. Every team has their own chants. Yeah, they got the sparklers, so it looks like the stadium's on fire, and there's like people in sync singing the song. Like,
yeah.
Like all that
bro, like
amazing.
They throw the beer, like they throw their beer when like they score. Oh, for like I think in one of the highlights that you sent me, who was that yellow club?
Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, that was in
the
Germany.
First goal, bro. Instantly, I thought it was popcorn for some reason. Yeah. I thought it was popcorn, but it was beer. I was like, what the heck? Like, damn, bro, you wasted like a $15 beer. I don't know how much it cost over there, but
it's probably like $15. That's how much it costs at stadiums. But yeah, bro. Yeah, I sent you a highlight for Borussia Dortmund. Haaland, just a beast. Like he almost assisted in every play. Like, dude, he's the future of football. Him and Mbappe.
How old is he?
He's like 20.
20?
Or 21, bro. Dude, he's like super young.
His dribbling skills are on point.
He's so fast and he's so big. Like he just overpowers everybody, bro. He's like Zlatan, but like a younger, faster version. I don't know. He's gonna be interesting. He's gonna play for Real Madrid like next year, hopefully.
Really?
Fingers crossed.
Think so?
We get Haaland and we get Mbappe, bro. Real Madrid's gonna come back, bro. I'm telling you,
bro. I think Mbappe might stay in PSG, maybe.
This summer, not this summer, but next year, he's gonna renew his contract or go to another club. So
okay,
it's gonna be. I think he'll leave, bro. He's gotta go to leave the Farmers League for the Real Madrid, bro, the greatest football club in all the land.
So, funny because we ended up talking about the Galacticos last podcast. Who do you think would win? Like the Galacticos from back then, with Kaká, the original Ronaldo, and them and Beckham, or between like. Let me ask the question again. So who would win, the Galacticos or like the current PSG lineup with Messi?
Damn, that's a great question.
They gotta like put that in the next FIFA game, bro. Like just the old Galacticos, so like you could face like like an all-star team.
Yeah, they have mods, bro. Like I kind of want the new FIFA. I kind of want to get it for PC because I saw this. They have mods where you can download like extra shit that they don't have in FIFA because it pisses me off. You can't play CONCACAF. Like they don't have all the teams. So even for like the qualifying for the World Cup when you're playing franchise mode, like FIFA doesn't have that because I don't know, maybe it's not worth it or there's too many like bad players. So Mexico and US and all those, it's just like a lottery whether they make it to the World Cup or not. So you could be playing your 4 seasons leading up to the World Cup as a manager and then you don't even go to the World Cup. Like that's just so annoying, bro. It's happened so many times. So I was Googling like how to get FIFA, like the CONCACAF or the all that stuff, and you can't do it on the console, but you could do it on the mod. So you download like a whole mod for the PC.
Yeah.
You could get like badass old rosters, like you were saying, like the Galacticos and like all kinds of shit because it's PC. People like develop stadiums too.
Stadiums?
Like real stadiums. So you could download those into the game, like crazy stadiums.
Like any stadium. Like he could be playing like at any stadium or just...
I don't know if any stadium, but for sure more stadiums are available than what it is now in FIFA because FIFA doesn't have all the stadiums. It's just the main ones.
Yeah.
And like they always put like some generic stadium to certain teams. Something that looks similar to their stadium in real life.
Yeah.
But they don't have their stadium. So if you get the mods, then you could download like the actual stadiums and all kinds of stuff that you could add on.
Yeah, that's cool. But that's something I've always like been fascinated. I mean, they could do it. They could add like old rosters, but it's just they would have to constantly be like updating stuff. And
yeah. Well, to answer your question, it's hard to answer that question. Who would win between the two Galacticos is because we haven't seen them play.
No, yeah,
they play till next week.
I saw that's a question that I saw from the ESPN, like the channel.
Yeah. It's a big.
I think it's too early to answer that question.
It's way too early, but I mean, this team has so much firepower in the offense, bro.
They really do. They have a solid defense too.
They have a new defense, but we're gonna see how they cope with each other.
That's the thing.
We haven't
too,
seen them play
like,
chemistry.
How are they gonna like deal with all these like egos? Because you have Neymar, who's like obviously just these superstars. Like, how are they all gonna have like corresponding? That's the thing that I'm like I'm actually interested in like watching how this team is gonna function as a unit because you have the star power, but are they like gonna find a way to like have that chemistry? Because like how are they gonna manage all those egos? Like are they gonna be willing to make plays? Is one gonna take the ball?
Yeah, that's true. There's way too many offensive players and they're all not gonna be able to play. You can't only have 11 guys, but I think as long as they win the Champions League, because it's all gonna be whether they win the Champions League. That's their goal. They don't care about the other shit because they've been winning other titles, but without the Champions League, they lost the final, they lost the semifinal, and
I think this might be their year. I mean, if you
add Messi and Ramos, so both of them have so much experience. Ramos won a World Cup. He's won like 5 Champions Leagues. Like he's one of the best defenders of all time. Yeah. So his leadership is there. And then you add Messi, who's the greatest player of all time, to already a team that went to the Champions League final like 2 years ago. So this is like it's gonna be a major failure if they don't win. And I don't think they're gonna win.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Manchester City is also looking good too.
Manchester City's the one. I think they're gonna win it.
Man. But like the chance of them,
there's a lot of sleeper teams too. You still have Barcelona.
Yeah.
Their defense kind of sucks, but they played pretty good in their first game.
Yeah, their first game. They ended up being Real Sociedad, right?
Real Sociedad 4-2.
Yeah, 4-2, and Piqué like got the first score. He scored with the header. Which, speaking about Piqué, he actually took a pay cut, and that's like something that's been trending, is that they say that he took like some crazy pay cut, but they don't like disclose like how much he lost, like how much of a pay cut. So like, because he took that pay cut now from Barcelona, he's now seen as like the hero, which I could see, because he's like, you know, he stepped up when, you know, they lost Messi. So he's seen as a hero right now. Honestly, he doesn't need the money. I mean, he's married to Shakira, so
yeah, that was got it made. And a lot of people they wanted him out of the team for the last 2 seasons because he's just dropped off like his quality. He's already older.
Yeah,
he's like a legend in that club too, because he was part of all those amazing teams. He's part of the Spain that won the World Cup.
Yeah.
He took a pay cut because he was they were gonna get rid of him. Like,
yeah,
Barcelona didn't want him anymore, especially for the price. So he's like, you know what, I want to stay here. I'll take the cut. And
his contract now expands to like 2024, just because he took the pay cut. So again, like, we don't know how much he's losing, but in terms of like the facts, so Barcelona had a spending gap of like 600 million euros, which translates to like 700 million in US dollars. A lot of money in the 2019 to 2020 season, so last year's season. And now they have a spending gap of 200 million euros, which translates to $235 million, which is a lot. It's like almost half, or more than half. It's like, what, 60%?
I don't know, but they were still not able to sign Messi because I think they owe like $1 billion worth of contracts. I think, and even Messi wanted to get paid half, but they couldn't afford it. They spent too much money bringing in other players,
like signing players like Griezmann and Dembele, right?
Depay, Memphis Depay.
Oh, okay.
So it's just been
it's been a financial
disaster, knowing that you had Messi on the contract, dude. Like, I think Messi should have been the priority, and that's why Messi was mad too. Like, bro, like, take care of the homie first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, but they won their first game, and I mean,
yeah, but it's Real Sociedad. It's nothing special. I mean, we got a long season ahead of us. Maybe Memphis and maybe Griezmann plays better, because Griezmann kind of sucked the last season.
For real, I don't know. I'm kind of curious, just like, how are they gonna bounce back, you know, from losing Messi? So they're definitely a team
you're watching just.
I'm watching just.
I didn't see. I saw their highlights, but I watched the Real Madrid highlights. They look really good.
Yeah.
Bale's back, and then Hazard. He sucked last year, and he was injured most of the year.
Yeah.
So I want him to do better, and I think he's gonna do good. And then Benzema scored again. Like, Benzema's a fucking beast. So Madrid's pretty dope. Like, they're gonna be a sleeper team. Last year they reached the Champions League semifinal, and they were like 1 game away from winning La Liga without Hazard and without Bale. Now they're a little older, both of them, but Bale came back, and then some of the young players that they were playing last year, they're a little bit older, more experienced. So I think Real Madrid's gonna do pretty good. Vinicius Jr., he scored as well, and
he's really fast, man.
Oh, that was fast.
He's really fast.
Yeah, he's the future. He's gonna be a top player. I don't know how effective he's gonna be, but he'll be definitely a top player
for sure. PSG, did you watch the PSG game? Yeah, just
I watched the Messi introduction. So when they introduced him and the speech, and like the whole fans going crazy.
Dude, ever since Messi hit Paris, bro, it's been crazy. Like,
parties and shit.
Not parties, but like celebrations. Like, so Messi's like currently living at some famous like old hotel. It's like luxurious and whatnot in Paris, until like he buys a home over there. But like, he needs security 24/7, because like the fans over there, bro, they're like surrounding, waiting for him to come outside of the hotel, which is crazy, bro. They have like the streets barricaded just because, you know, soccer fans. Yeah,
it's been pretty hectic, and PSG ended up winning 4-2.
4-2, yeah.
They came out to start I think they were up 3-0. Then the other team scored 2 goals, and then they finally won it.
Dude, like those beautiful headers from Icardi and Jorge. Like the first goal was scored by Icardi, but just like that cross from Mbappe to Icardi, like that goal was just crazy. The goalie ended up like fucking like doing some crazy backflip, but it was just like, man, that was like a beautiful header. Just
yeah, like, Mbappe's another level. And next week, hopefully, we get to see Messi. I know the ratings are gonna be crazy. I already seen people like everybody's just waiting to watch PSG now. Like with the crossover that we said, the Messi fans going over. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And I know in just the beginning of the season.
It's just curious to see like you have like this really good player. It's like you have this good player coming from another team who like, so you have a legend basically. He's no doubt about it. He's like a legend at this point, going into a team that already has like a really good players already. You have a future of football, Mbappe, and then you have, you know, him playing with his friends Neymar and Di Maria, and then like they're already a good team. So it's like you have this mega star, and now
too many storylines together.
It's just you want to see him like do well.
Yeah,
you just want to.
I'm excited for Messi, and I'm excited for that team. I'm excited for soccer. I'm excited for football. Like everything's coming back. Like I don't know what we're dealing with.
We needed
that sports feel like they're back. You know, like that's a good feeling. Back. The fans back in the stadium. Vaccines are going up, so things are turning around. Now, let's take this moment to answer some of our questions. Brought to you by SoFi. Check out our link in the description. SoFi Investing. So let's answer some questions, because last week we
only jumped one.
We answered Ricky's question, which he submitted asking us about if somebody that influences that we haven't met, and we went off on Gary Vee. I don't even think I answered mine, but whatever. That was last week. Somebody said if you can have any talent in the world that you don't possess, what would it be?
Good question. You want to answer first, or
you go first?
All right. If I could master any talent in the world,
if you can have any talent in the world that you don't possess, what would it be?
I think singing.
Singing?
Yeah, bro. Shit. I mean, if I could sing, bro, bro. I'm just saying, man, I could be like singing, bringing it back and sing old Frank Sinatra song. Man.
What kind of music would you be singing, bro?
Like old jazz music, I guess. Like just being good at singing. I don't know. Like,
so not like not that crazy auto tune, none of that bullshit. Like straight, like just actual Adele type vocals, where like Adele concerts, she just stands there and just kills it with her voice, but she's not like doing all the dances like Britney Spears and shit.
No, man, like actual singing. Like I think that's one of the things about like old music that I have more of an appreciation for. It's just I always resonate with like old music. Like you listen to Mexican music, and you just, you know, you listen to Vicente Fernandez, and you just that voice
singing from the heart. Yeah,
it's just I always grew up in a house where like we appreciated singers that actually like sang from like their actual talent.
So you don't fuck with mumble rappers, bro?
No, bro. It has to be like lyric.
So that would be your talent. That's cool. Singing is amazing. Like I wish I could sing too. I always feel like you could learn singing as a practice. It's just
there's vocal coaches.
Yeah, all you did is, it's easier when you're younger. Like it's harder for people our age to start, you know. But any young kids out there, they could start from very young. Like all the mariachi singers, they all sing amazing because they're little kids. They're teaching them like the ways, you know.
Yeah.
I always wanted to learn about singing too. That'd be hard.
What would be your talent? Singing too? Nah. What would it be, bro? Come on.
I'm thinking, bro. This is a hard question.
It's a hard question. It is.
I don't want to say a couple answer like singing too, because I would love to sing, but
bro, if you could sing, you would get like. I mean, one of my reasons would be like, if you could sing, bro, you can get women. That's just me. I mean, bro, you think about like all the people in show business. I mean, if you could sing, bro, like.
You don't need to sing to get women, bro.
No, but I'm just saying, if you could sing, bro, like, come on, man. You think, like,
serenatas and shit.
Like, if you could sing, like, just think about The Weeknd, man. Like, even without that, like, with all that music filtration and stuff like that, like, he could sing. I know he could sing. And, like, girls, they just like that shit, man.
Nah, bro. I would definitely like to sing, but I think just the thing that
well, talent could be anything, man. Like, you could be a good cook. Like, what?
No, for me it would be like architecture.
Architecture? Like what do you
like badass architects that design like buildings. I don't know if that's a talent, but like just being able to create like the infrastructure of buildings and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like all these crazy designs, like in Dubai or like New York City, you have these buildings. Like somebody comes up with those, you know? Like,
yeah.
Have you ever seen How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
So
with
Ted
Patrick
Mosby.
Neil Harris, right?
Yeah, so Ted Mosby, he was an architect and he would design buildings and shit. Okay. And like, because it's one thing just to draw it out, but then you got to think about like the rooms and the actual like about foundation, like all the shit, interior. The windows you're gonna be using, the color and the tint, like
materials.
That would be dope.
You got to break it down to like a science, like from everything.
Yeah, it's literally a crazy science. That's something that I would definitely like to get into. It's
architecture.
Architecture.
Could have any talent in the world. You want architecture? Hey, man, more power to you. Is that even a talent? Is that even?
I don't know. That's talent. That's just a career.
That's a career. I mean,
well, I wanted to say singing, but you took that shit from me, bro. I'm not gonna even say the same shit. Man. All right, I would like singing too. Fuck, like, fuck architecture. Like, fuck the pretty buildings. Nah, singing would be dope. I would like to, just because like the way I've seen Travis Scott videos, or like even those like slow songs where everybody just singing along in the crowd. Like, imagine you wrote that song and the whole 100,000 people, like Post Malone, like congratulations and all that bullshit. Like, that would be, I can't even imagine what they feel to have everybody just singing your music. I think that would be one of the coolest things. Being able to sing.
For sure.
Being able to sing and like, well, you got to make some good music. You know?
Yeah. You got to make music that like captivates people in the moment.
Yeah. Create some amazing music to get women.
All right. What's the next question?
So that was submitted by Ricky one more time.
Oh, shout out
Ricky, bro, keeping us some great content. Yeah. Somebody else said, what's something that excites you? But that's, I don't know. That's kind of what gets you. Oh, shit. I think this is a good one. What would be a dream shoot for you? So he kind of did it. So I'll ask you, like, if you could direct a music video for somebody or a video for something, man, a brand, a music video, what would be your dream shoot?
My dream shoot would have to be like something wrestling related for sure. Like, if I could do a photo shoot with any like current wrestler, even for like AEW or something, even if it's just something like an independent wrestling, like that would just something wrestling related, like doing, because wrestlers, they have like they have photos taken.
But it's the dream, so
like the dream.
You
okay,
it can't be just any wrestler. It's gotta be doing like the one motherfucker.
Doing like a cover shoot for WrestleMania.
Oh, fuck, that's hard.
That would be like number one, bro, because it's WrestleMania. Like, everybody knows WrestleMania, so like taking pictures of like, and knowing that they took like use that photo like for the poster or whatever, like that would be really cool.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
being the producer for that.
Yeah,
the photo shoot, or like, damn, that'd be cool. And then you get to do all the main wrestlers because it's them.
Yeah,
that'd be hard.
That would be awesome. That would be amazing.
Yeah, you could probably do that shit in the next 5 years, bro.
Hey, man.
We'll get there.
We'll
do some production.
I'll bring Mills along with me too, because I know he wants to do something with wrestling too. So.
No, yeah, for sure. My ideal shoot, to shoot a music video. Well, I definitely want to do a movie.
You want to do a movie?
That's my goal. I want to do. I think I don't have a timeline. I just know I want to get into like making movies in the future.
You want to like pay out of pocket, or you want to like fund it?
Of course, I don't want to spend my own money. If I could spend like an investor or like a production company,
yeah.
But I mean, I haven't really thought about the finances, but I definitely want to direct movies. So I don't know if my ideal shoot would be like directing a film, but if it's for a music video, it would definitely be Kanye.
Kanye?
Yeah, that'd be crazy because I know.
My guess was Travis Scott. I was like, man, you might say Travis Scott, but
Kanye would be like, Kanye is my favorite artist of all time. Yeah. So like doing a music video for him, I feel like he would take so much control. He'll let you know, like, I want you to do this, and this, and then the hardest thing there would be like you would have to do something that's never been done before because Kanye, that's all he does. He's always like that. You can't do something like his shit.
But I think that's good too. Is like just working with somebody that takes his craft so seriously. Like it's gonna push you as a director because it's like, man, like you might butt heads with him, but he's like probably. I mean, he wants his things your way, his way. You want things your way, and like you're gonna find.
Yeah, I think that we'll create some dope shit with Kanye, bro. Maybe one day I'll direct the music video for Kanye West. That'd be dope. That'd be one of the.
Hey man, and if like just directing for something like that, like a superstar like Kanye, that's gonna open like so many doors. Like
well, if you're directing for Kanye, that's it. You made it. You're already top of the industry.
For real.
And what's cool about those music videos though, once you get to that level, it's like there's no budget. You can literally make whatever you want. Here, all the artists we're working with, we don't have a lot of money, so we're trying to find ways to use our local town and what we can. But once you working with those people that have no budget, basically like unlimited budget, you could literally make anything you want. The crazy like movie 3D screens, fucking all kinds of shit.
You could like hire choreographers and
like dance sequences and badass like car chases and explosions. Like the Hollywood's basically anything in Hollywood.
What would you think about like making a music video, but like not just like a green screen, like when you're in space, but actually like you're in space. Like what if you got to direct like the other time we were talking about, like imagine if we like did Man on the Moon or something, like on the moon, but actually like
on the moon.
Yeah.
Dude, directing the music video in space would be like,
or like you moment. Being in a rocket and like just orbiting, you know.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. That should be crazy. Let's get to another question.
All right.
Chad, he's a drone pilot.
Photographer,
drone pilot. Like this guy's, I think he's an Army veteran or Marine veteran.
Yeah.
U.S. military veteran. And he takes amazing drone shots here in the Coachella Valley. So he asks a great questions like, what do you think the future for creatives in the desert looks like?
Honestly, man, it's a hotspot. It's going to be a hotspot. I mean, I could see a lot of traction. I could see like a lot of movies being made here. I could see a lot of, I mean, we already do music videos, but more music videos are going to be happening here. A lot of art. I mean, that's big already. I could see it's definitely just art, man. Art in general is going to be big here. Even like,
for me, like just to answer his question, I've been making content for like 3-4. I've been making content for like 7 years, but I haven't seen this many of people creating content ever. Like it's definitely changing.
Well, how many people do you know like that you actually know are making content? Like how many
here in the desert?
Yeah.
Damn. I can't count them, but I know probably less than 10 or like 10 people. I'm not like photographers and videographers. I'm talking about YouTubers and podcasters and stuff.
Right.
Probably like 10, 15. But I was talking about when it comes to creators, because creators is big. It's artists,
big. It's broad. It's
photographers. I definitely see way more people making content that is not business, which is one of the biggest things. Like for the longest time, any type of content that was coming out of the desert was business related, like making like commercials, photo shoots because of business, but not for models. For not creative, for family portraits and shit like that.
Yeah.
Now it's like people are taking drone shots of the desert just because it's dope. People are making videos of the desert just because it's dope. People are hanging out with other creatives. And I think it's definitely changing. So I think the future, we're going to go towards like a mini LA with like the talents here. So what's the coolest part is like we have great videographers, photographers, and content creators here. Once Coachella Fest comes along, like we'll be able to collaborate with these big influencers.
Yeah.
Or when they come down, they're like, who do we fuck with? Oh shit, there's like a whole hub of all these people. that are doing dope shit here in the desert. Like that's dope. And that's definitely changing. It hasn't been like that before.
No, yeah, and then you add in like all the cool spots like of the desert, like that it offers.
That we know,
like the Desert X, Joshua Tree. Like a lot of people get photographs from the windmills and
the hiking trails.
Like
there's a lot.
There's so much opportunity because it's like it's that nature, and it's not really something that's. Typically, it's something that's organic here in the valley. It's just you can't replicate it because there's nowhere else like it. You go to cities like New York or LA or San Francisco, it's like, okay, you can expect like big buildings, but like you could get that in any big city.
Any city.
Like those here, it's like, where the fuck are you gonna get like a picture of a windmill farm? I mean,
yeah, that's rare in the United States alone, in the world too.
It's rare, and then some crazy sculpture, in the desert, or like even taking, a photo in a, well, I mean, you have Burning Man, but taking a photo like of a festival in the middle of a desert,
Yeah, the future for creators looks great. I'm excited. Chad said he might be down for the podcast here in August or maybe September.
Yeah, I saw his podcast with Selected Series. Shout out Selected Series.
Yeah, he's been traveling and stuff. He's been doing crazy photos in like San Francisco.
I've been following his stuff.
He's so dope. I like him. So so that's the last question that I'll answer today is just Sammy. Do you fuck with Kingdom Dreams?
Obviously, bro. I mean, I fuck with those. You have to fuck with.
You gotta get that Kingdom Dreams tattoo right here, bro. Like
I don't know. I don't know if my mom would like that, but.
Yeah, we definitely fuck with Kingdom Dreams. Yeah, bro, those are the questions for today. We'll definitely answer more questions next week. Just I don't want to get too Q&A, but thank you for submitting those questions. If you're listening, you follow us on social media, DM us some questions and we'll be answering. Definitely
ask more questions, man.
I like that we get into different topics that people want to cover.
Should ask a poll like, oh, what do you guys like want us to cover? Like just to give them more choice. Like, would you guys want us to talk more about sports? I mean, we've been talking a lot about sports.
I feel like, this podcast is turning to a sports podcast, which we got to cut it back down a little bit. We're getting too much into sports. I like sports, and I think we'll definitely talk about sports, but I just don't want it to be a sports podcast. But like even
we just report TikTok, like what's been happening. Like
that's been the most trendy stuff. It's like we have thoughts and opinions about Messi, the greatest, leaving. It's like if LeBron was leaving right now, we'd be talking about LeBron.
Yeah, And I think it's just, I mean, it's just talking about what's hot right now. But if people want to see more of other stuff too, like what's going down with, I don't know, like the movie industry, maybe like talking. Did we?
There's I wanted to talk about that. Thanks for bringing it up. So Suicide Squad 2, The Suicide Squad came out last week. I got to see it in theaters, and then
out in HBO.
Free Guy came out this weekend as well with Ryan Reynolds. Like I got to see both movies.
How was it?
And I don't want to spoil it. You haven't seen them, huh?
I haven't seen them.
Yeah, so I'll talk about first the first Suicide Squad.
Okay. How was like John Cena in the Suicide Squad movie?
John Cena was awesome because he played kind of like himself, like the wrestling almost like the wrestling character.
Oh, really?
But he was like, let's say, like a heel. So he was like the heel of the movie, but he was a bad like. He literally played himself. He was good with weapons and shit, and like made fun of himself.
Pete
like
Davidson was in that movie too.
Yeah, Pete Davidson. Oh, okay. No spoilers, but he's like one of the heroes in the beginning. So basically, if you've seen, you gotta almost have to watch the first Suicide Squad movie in order to understand this one.
Right.
So they get a bunch of prisoners that are on like death row, and they're like, "Hey, we'll take like 10, 15 years of your sentence if you help us complete this mission." So they insert a tracker in their necks, and now they're
kind of like the first one, right?
Just the same thing. Yeah. So Amanda Waller, the same like boss lady, they implant something into their necks, and if they like try to escape or something, they'll blow their heads off.
Yeah.
So this movie, which was directed by James Gunn, the director from Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It's such a fun movie, and then also this movie is a rated R. So there's gore, there's violence, people get shot in the face, like everything's so dope. And I like the premise because in the beginning of the movie, you're introduced to this set of characters, and then the story begins. Mm-hmm. But then there's like a little mini plot twist in the beginning. I don't want to get into spoilers, but it's just the whole intro sequence is amazing. And then they brought like the most obscure DC characters, bro. Like the Weasel and Rat Lady. It was like Rat Lady.
You have a shark.
Shark King. I think Shark King's a little more famous, but it's like all these crazy obscure DC characters, and they made it work, bro. Like James Gunn did an amazing job. Harley Quinn, she was kind of like part of the group, but then she got her own like side storyline at the same time, which was cool.
Supposedly, this movie is supposed to take like after Birds of Prey, which is like the own spinoff.
Yeah, that Birds of Prey movie sucked. Let's not that movie. Let's forget about that film.
Yeah.
That movie flopped. It came out right during the pandemic. Like it came out like 2 weeks before the pandemic started, bro. It was like just terrible for Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And then it didn't get great reviews either way. I think that was the last movie I watched before they shut down the movie theaters last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man.
Birds of Prey. But yeah, the Suicide Squad. It's a solid like 9 out of 10 to be honest. 10? It's super funny.
High rating.
No, it's one of the best like comedy superhero films for sure, and everything's like refreshing. Even the final boss battle. There's always a boss battle with hero films. This one was cool. Like,
of course, bro. It's a superhero movie.
You gotta have the big explosions, and it wasn't like a generic like alien army or something. It was like they did it in a very unique way. So I give them props for that. And the way the whole team collaborated to win at the end was super cool. So I don't know what the future of Suicide Squad. I feel like they'll probably definitely make more Suicide Squad films, because I think this one's like really well received, over like 90% Rotten Tomatoes.
Very interesting to see. So it's like DC found their own like Avengers. No, that's more of the Justice League.
Well, it's in the same universe. So the Suicide Squad is part of the whole DC universe.
What did you think about? Have you seen the Justice League, like, but the director's cut version?
Yeah.
What did you think about like that in comparison to the original?
Well, it was way better, like 100 times better. The first one, oh my god, it was so trash, bro.
I remember I rented it from the library, and I just popped it up like in my PS4 because it runs Blu-ray. Yeah. But I just remember sleeping like halfway through it, to be honest. Like I like, because it was so boring. It was like, man, what's going on here? And then I saw like my brother told me on HBO Max, like they have their director's cut. I was like, what? They re-released it? All right, let me give it a shot. And story made so much sense. It
was long. It was like 4 hours long. It took me a couple sittings to watch it.
Yeah.
But Zack Snyder, I mean, he told his story, you know, like everything made sense because you got to see the scenes play out, you know, like the recruitment process, like they cut out literally like all the story behind like Cyborg and the Flash. So in the theatrical release, like you didn't understand what was going on. Because it was just like, oh, you introduced these characters, now they're part of the team. But this one, it took its time. You actually cared what they were doing, and you understood the motives, even from the villains too. Like you kind of understood what was going on.
Yeah.
So the problem with the theatrical release is Zack Snyder's daughter, she passed away right before when they were still shooting the movie.
Oh wow.
So it was his only daughter, so him and his wife like pulled out of the project because they had to deal with like a family tragedy.
Oh, okay.
So they DC hired Joss Whedon, and Joss Whedon was the director of the first Avengers film. Now I'm not a big fan of Marvel jokes. Like I think they're just so predictable and kind of annoying sometimes. They're funny. I mean, I like them. But it was like he tried to bring that into half of the movie that Zack Snyder was already directed. So he came in and he wrote a bunch of the scenes and added all these stupid jokes. So the tone was completely different. Like the beginning is like Zack Snyder, his universe, and they'll be like corny. And then you could tell when it was the reshoots because they'll be like cinematic, cool, and then it'll be like a corny joke.
Yeah.
So when they released it, like nothing made sense in the theaters. Like it was just too much. Two different directors directing the same movie, who are not even close to the kind of work that they do. So it made no sense.
Yeah, I've always seen like Marvel as like more of the comedic type of like franchise, whereas like DC is more supposed to be taken a little more serious, depending on like, you know, who the character is.
Dark and more. Yeah, so like the Marvel formula is amazing. Like they've been making like everything they do is pretty cool, but yeah, so the whole Justice League was just a disaster for all that. And the fans, they really wanted to see the Snyder Cut because on the trailer, it showed a bunch of the scenes that were cut out from the movie. So they're like, hey, we know that shit's out there. So they started to release the Snyder Cut. It was like a big trend on Twitter and all over social media.
Yeah.
Until eventually they released the Snyder Cut for a suicide prevention fund. So every time people would tweet or release the Snyder Cut, it was like to bring awareness for the suicide prevention.
Good promotion on them.
So like because people wanted to help out Zack Snyder, promote that since his daughter passed away, she committed suicide.
Oh, okay.
So that's what kind of was. So it was really interesting to see the movement, and the fans actually got what they wanted, which is something you don't really see in Hollywood. The fans really rallied. They really wanted the Snyder Cut, and they I don't know how much they spent to kind of like edit the movie or something, but it got done.
And it probably got more traction too, like more views on HBO Max. It had to. I mean, I watched it.
Yeah, so many people did. One, because you wanted to see his original version. Yeah. Because everyone knew that movie sucked. So it's like, it's got to be better than that shit that we got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Snyder Cut was cool. And DC, they're still kind of, I think they're like in a reboot phase. I think the next movie, it's supposed to reboot the franchise with a, I think they're doing a like Flash, like one of the Flash fucking multiverse movies. I don't know exactly what's going.
They also have that Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. From Twilight coming out too.
That one looks good.
It looks good. I mean, there's been so many Batman movies to this point, but it's just I'm curious how they're gonna like handle this.
Yeah, and the director for this was cool too. He's the director from the Planet of the Apes movies.
Ooh.
And those movies were amazing. And Robert Pattinson's a good actor. Like he is the Twilight guy, but he also kind of like he's been getting all kinds of good roles where he's kind of outgrowing that versus like other like the fool that plays fucking Harry Potter. That was always gonna be Harry Potter no matter what. Like, you will never see him some other way. And Frodo, fucking Elijah Wood, like that was Frodo, bro. But no, yeah, this Robert Pattinson, like he kind of has a second career after Twilight. And this movie looks really good. It looks really violent and like dark, so that'll be interesting. I think that one's a separate storyline, like the other Joker movie came out with Joaquin Phoenix. They're having like individual stories.
This is definitely like at an older time too.
I think they're calling it like DC Collections. So you have the main DCU like Justice League timeline, and then over here you have like independent films, which is gonna be the Joker, the Batman, and maybe other future standalone movies that are not part of the universe. So it's interesting what DC is trying to do. They're trying to do it different than Marvel. I think they should have just copied them 100%. Like just make one movie at a time, introduce one hero, and then join them together.
Yeah.
They wanted to not do it like that because they didn't want to copy them, but they kind of shot themselves in the foot by trying to be too.
I mean, they have all the characters. I mean, as long as they just tell a compelling storyline, I think, man, like what's something different that like DC could bring that hasn't really been done to this point? Because we've already seen a lot of Batman, we've already seen a lot of Joker. Like, what's something that they could probably like come out with that hasn't been really shown on screen? I would say something. I would want to see something with like more. This is gonna come from like the more of like a villain like movie. Like maybe if like they shown more of like the villains from Batman more, like they came out with like an origin story of like the Riddler or like Deathstroke.
Yeah, Batman could start his own fucking universe. That would be so cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, Batman's they have all the collections. Batman has it all. I think DC, the problem is Superman.
He's just too powerful.
He's too powerful, but they need to get him right because he's the key to everything, you know, like the way that they handle this one. I think Zack Snyder, he was directing just a trilogy. It was Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League.
Yeah.
That was going to be his trilogy to start off the whole thing, and then the studio got involved and kind of bottled the whole thing and added it just became a huge mess that now it's just like a complete mess. Now they're trying to get it back together by doing that reboot with the Flash. So I think the Flash is called Flashpoint.
Flashpoint. Okay.
The Flashpoint reboot. So they're going to go and then they're going to like...
Bro.
I don't know what's going to happen.
After that movie, they need to come out with the Teen Titans movie.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I was a fan of like the animated series back then. And like now that they have like characters like Cyborg, like the possibility, like if they have Cyborg and they have Flash, like, bro, they could definitely make a Teen Titans movie, but they got to make it right.
Yeah.
And that could be like its own series too, like its own thing as well, from apart from the Justice League. Or they could possibly like make a cameo in the Justice League.
That would be cool. I was a fan of the Teen Titans too. That's a cool storyline. I want to see more Robin like in these like Batman films. I feel like they never give any love to Robin in the live action ones.
Nah.
It's always like a solo Batman, bro. Like I want to see a Batman and Robin taken seriously. Not like the 90s ones, but like a modern one where there's like a Robin.
Have you played the Batman games, the Arkham games?
Yeah.
They could do that story where like that Jason Todd, like the original, like the first no, not Jason Todd. It is Jason Todd, but not Nightwing. The one where like Joker captures him. I think it's called the storyline's called The Killing Joke, but correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like Joker ends up capturing Robin and like turns him into Red Hood, I think.
Yeah.
Like something like that, bro. Like live action would be dope. Would be dope for sure.
Oh hell yeah, bro! No, that's what I'm saying. Like you mentioned, I think the Riddler's gonna be involved in the Batman with Robert Pattinson. The Riddler's the villain on that one.
I think we need more villains, just in like, but told in a different way. You know?
Yeah, create their own universe, and that's the thing DC was trying to do. They already introduced
Suicide Squad,
Lex Luthor, Suicide Squad, and Deathstroke. He came out as a.
Did he come out?
Easter egg at the end of the movie after the credits.
Oh,
he
really?
came out he came out with Lex Luthor. Like Lex Luthor recruited him, but we haven't seen him in the universe yet. So he's there. We know that there's more people coming. So it just kind of give him a little more time. You know, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Yeah, like that's something that I want to happen because I'm more of a DC fan than Marvel.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the Marvel stuff. And speaking of Marvel, so I watched the movie Free Guy. Free Guy stars Ryan Reynolds, and it's basically like Grand Theft Auto. It's a world where it's like a world where people go in there and just do whatever. So you could rob banks or side missions. So like Red Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, an open world basically. Right. Like players come in.
Like you're in a simulation?
No, a video game.
Oh, it's a video game.
Yeah, it's a video game. So think of Grand Theft Auto. You go in, you're playing online, and you could just beat up people in the street and rob them, get their money. You could do side missions and fucking rob a bank and get money, steal cars, fucking shoot cops. Like, you know how you could do all that stuff.
Right.
So that's what this movie is. It's like, it's called Free City. So Free City is like the universe, and gamers come in and everybody's playing it. It's like a mixture between like Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite and all that shit. And then Ryan Reynolds is a NPC, like non-player character. Right. He's just a part of the game.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like he sees one of the people that can play the game, and she sees like her walking around. Now, something like happens to him where he like awakens, and he starts like to question the whole world basically. So he becomes like self-aware, like AI.
Yeah.
So instead of being just a PC character or NPC that just sits there, he's actually like talking back and doing his own stuff. He's
part of like.
So little by little, he starts evolving as an artificial intelligence, and like that's like the premise of the movie.
Oh,
so him, artificial intelligence mixed with like people playing the game. So this movie was crazy. It's so much fun, bro. And then it features a bunch of gamers like ninjas in this, doing like live streams, and Pokemon and like a bunch of other like famous streamers. They're like giving commentary like about the game while it's happening. Like, oh my god, I can't believe this guy's doing this. Like, it's super fun. And then Channing Tatum's in it. It's just probably the best like comic book movie that's ever. Video game movie that's out there.
That's crazy.
And it was a 20th Century Fox movie, but Disney, because they own Fox now.
Yeah.
So this one, it has some references to the Avengers and Star Wars and stuff, and it was super cool because they showed it at the end. So like this movie was so good.
I gotta see this movie.
You gotta see it, bro. It's called Free Guy, and I kind of want to see it one more time. Like, it was just so much fun. One of the best movies I've seen this year for sure.
Man,
the plot sucked though.
Plot sucked?
Okay, I'm sorry. Not the plot. The plot was cool. The main villain, it didn't make sense. So I don't want to get into spoilers. I've been trying to avoid spoilers, but
no. Yeah.
For example, the whole plot revolves around a video game that these two people created, which for them, they were trying to create artificial intelligence. And this guy came up and stole their idea and kind of wrote its code on top of their code. But for some reason, one of the two people that created the game worked for the new guy. So like this guy's like Mark Zuckerberg. He owns like it's already a huge studio. He's the owner of the game. And there, like as a developer or somebody that works for the company on the floor, he's one of the guys who created the other video game that the guy stole. So like, why would you hire somebody you stole their game? You know, like it made no sense from that perspective. Like if you create a badass game, I steal it, then I market it. I put my own like coding on top of it, but your coding is like the main mechanism of the game. It blows up. It's like the best game in the world. And then I hire you as like a coder to solve problems or just to be part of the team. Like, why would you even have them in the building if I stole it from you? That's like one of the things that didn't make sense to me in the game. I don't want to get into spoilers, it was kind of stupid. But besides that little point, the movie is pretty funny.
Man, that sounds interesting. Just the fact that like streamers are in there, like.
Were there all the famous ones?
Dr. Disrespect, like guy with the mustache.
There was a part where like some like gamer got shot from the sky. It looked like Dr. Disrespect.
You know who he is?
Yeah,
right?
I know who he is. So I feel like it was him because they were making fun of him because you know how he got in trouble a little bit. So I think they made fun of that because it was like a dude with the mustache that got shot from the air in the game. And I think that was that, but I'm not sure, to be honest. And for sure, like Ninja, Pokemon, and other ones that I didn't recognize. I don't know that many gamers, but you probably recognize them. So that's cool. Like you get to see different gamers in there.
That's cool. What like do you think like they'll probably make more appearances like in other movies?
This is gonna be the future, especially with this kind of genre. Esports is taking over the world. Is what I was telling you. Like some esports people they're more famous than some celebrities and athletes, and maybe I don't know them, and other people that don't watch esports know them, but the world knows
just
them.
Streamers in general. It doesn't even have to be esports. It could just, I mean, man, just the streaming community is chat's undefeated, man. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're streaming or just tuning into streaming, chat is undefeated.
Bro, like I don't understand Twitch.
You know,
I don't get it. I tried watching Twitch streams. I can't get into it.
Like what is it about Twitch? Like
I don't know.
The chat, is it like the way it works?
I just don't like. I watch because like I'm not into video games as much, but even then, I watch like gameplay or tutorials or like all this shit on YouTube, and I watch all this. But for some reason, like I can't get myself to go to the Twitch app and then sit on some guy streaming the game. Like I just can't do it. It's kind of weird.
It's probably because like you're probably used to like watching like edited videos. Like one of my favorite streamers is Dr. Disrespect, but like he takes streaming to a whole different level. Like he has like some pre-edited stuff. Like if there's a streamer that you probably should watch is him. Like with streaming, it's like you watch stuff like happening in real time. So the creator like how Twitch came to be, the creator of it like recorded him before it was Twitch. He attached like cameras to himself and like recorded him, basically live stream his life 24/7.
Yeah,
like he created like the website and like you could watch like whenever he would go to a coffee shop, you could see him going to a coffee shop. Like what the heck? And he started like the project and then like he built it. Like he saw the potential, like, oh, this could be the future, built it from the ground up and then sold it to Amazon for like
billions of dollars.
Yeah, dude. So, but Twitch, it's definitely just streaming in general. It's like, you just got to have a connection with the streamer. Like you tune into more for like a stream for like the person's personality. I would say, because there's like definitely like people like Dr. Disrespect who plays a character, like he's captivating not only like in the way he streams, like his character, like he kind of plays like that one guy from Dodgeball. Yeah, like Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller. Like if there's definitely he kind of like reminds me of that guy. I forgot his name, but it's Ben Stiller from Dodgeball. He has like those mannerisms and just he's just that asshole. I
saw him at the NBA Finals, or he was in the NBA playoffs, and there's a picture where he's standing up, and then Devin Booker's standing up, and
he's tall.
Right, and then Lil Wayne was next to him too. I think. So it was like this picture's like this picture was crazy. It was like Devin Booker in the court, and then right behind him in the front row seats, it was like Lil Wayne sitting down and Dr. Disrespect standing up. Like, have you saw the picture?
Yeah, no, but just the like. Just picturing that and like, man, Lil Wayne next to like Dr. Disrespect, that guy can dunk probably if
he's tall.
Yeah, dude, the guy's tall. What's this guy name? It's like the streamer Tyler One. He's like this buff dude who's like he plays League of Legends, but he's like this buff dude and he's like short, probably like my size. And him and Dr. Disrespect are always like going at it. But there's pictures of him like next to Dr. Disrespect and he's tall. I think man, I think he almost hit his head going into that one H1 podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they did a podcast with them and I think he almost hit his head like coming into the door. Like that's how tall he is. Like,
shit.
Man, that's crazy. But I definitely I don't know. It's just something about streaming. You just go in there for the personality, honestly, because that carries the stream.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Because I was just scrolling through Twitch trying to find some lobby. And I don't know.
It's better watching clips than actual streams. Like people that stream and like having fan bases. Like if you stream and you have like consistent numbers, you have real fans. That's all I'm gonna say. Because it's like some of these streamers be streaming like. Man, like hours and hours, man. And sometimes like the way Twitch works is like you have categories. So when you stream, you could be doing like you could categorize your stream like what is it about? Are you doing a birthday stream? And like sometimes like people will just go and just because it's your birthday and like they'll probably donate.
That's cool.
That's cool. No, yeah, and sometimes they even have challenges too. Like you're streaming for 24 hours. Like some people do that, or it could be like they have different sections and different like categorizations that you could do. So like you could like it's organized in a way for like the algorithm. I remember when I first streamed, like all of a sudden I was just streaming this game and I got like 1,000 people watching my stream. Like there's two different ways like you could get viewership. It's like live, which is if you have like a dedicated fan base, like it's probably good. But if not, it doesn't even matter because your stuff will be like still there. But it's not going to be like live. It's
like
gonna
a replay.
Like a replay, yeah, of like the whole 1 hour or 2 hour stream. So like you could still get viewership from there.
That's cool. What game was it?
Man. I think it was like something definitely I think I was playing Minecraft. Minecraft. But I was playing with like a friend and we were just making jokes. Then after that I was playing like some PUBG game. I think it was called it was like this parody of PUBG. Like it was like a battle royale game, but I was playing with my friends and we were just
just having fun
and we were just making jokes, man. And yeah, streaming is definitely fun, but you just gotta commit to it,
stay consistent. Well, as with anything in social media, you have to stay consistent. My next challenge. So I have a video that I want to be posting. I'll tease it here, I guess. I don't know how many TikToks I'm going to be making for the month of August. I have 46 already this month. So maybe 100. I don't know.
100 in a month? Man.
And then I'm going to make a video what my account was before that. And then after.
Oh, okay.
So I'm making a YouTube video like as a challenge and like just to see what happens. So far, I'm almost at 1,000 followers on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok at Coachella Angel. I'm excited for that challenge. That'll be coming up soon. We'll talk about it once we get closer. Probably like the first episode in September. Right. I'll do that video. And this week we have a podcast coming up with Anna V. Girl from the Heat. Yeah. So stay tuned for that one. We're going to be doing that later this week. And then some other ones coming up soon. So
yeah, we got some dope stuff coming up. Like we have music. Well, right now we're still in the process of releasing a music video. So tune in for that as well. The 760
music video coming up soon. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to today's podcast. We definitely had some fun, and then we'll be submitting more questions next week. So make sure you guys submit us on social media so you guys could get your questions answered on the podcast. So thank you guys for watching.
This is Brian signing out.
I don't know what happened to the wrestling guy, but
wait.
You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, it was I don't know. I had a lot of fun. Shout out to our sponsors, the India Food Park. Shout out to our sponsors, OC Granite and Tile. And shout out to SoFi, the greatest investment app. If you haven't signed up to SoFi, you want to learn more about investing, I'll put the link in the description to those things. Make sure you guys click them. I get a commission if you use my code, but you don't have to, you know what I mean?